unity, to not just offer solidarity in words, but to commit to political action, grassroots action, local action, and international action that will give us what justice requires. And that is a free Palestine from the river to the sea. When I said free Palestine from the river to the sea, I was making a call for justice for Palestinian people who live inside the state of Israel, for those Palestinian people who are in the West Bank, and for those who are in.
Yep. Let me just go ahead. Yeah, so guys, the link is open. I'm not done with my presentation, but you can call in, right? You can call in if you'd like. Kaizo, my tribe is Habar Dollar. Okay. Now, Mali boy, you're obviously from the north, right? You're Mali boy, right? You're Somalilander. So you're What's good? Channel is open. Good. We got our first caller, the color genesis over there, telling us the genesis of colonizers, the Black American force. What's good, brother? Why are Black Americans and South Africans? You can see the same thing. South Africa is also taking Israel to court for International Criminal Justice. International Court of Justice for the same thing. Why are Black Americans focused on Palestinian issues? Why is this whole kumbaya going on? What's good, color genesis?
What's going on, Kaizo? You see, I'm not on Bomani's show tonight.
Right.
I don't know what Bomani didn't call me to do a show, so whatever. But I gotta, I love the sound of my own voice, so I gotta go somewhere. So right. And you just happen to be on. So great, Kaizo's on. So let me go bother Kaizo. Yeah, it's an interesting topic, man. It's embarrassing, right? Yeah. Only if you look at it from the mainstream media. Marc Lamont Hill does not speak for the average Black man. Now, some Black people, right, who aren't into politics, right, will listen to that and be like, and that's all they hear. They'll say, okay, that sounds good to me. They support Palestine, right? Mm-hmm. But Black people who are conscious and everything, they know it's like, what does the Palestinian problem have to do with us? And unfortunately, Black America, right, has been tasked with the burden of the world. In other words, basically, when you talk about injustice somewhere is a threat to justice, all that friggin' nonsense. While everybody comes over here grabbing the bag, doing what they want to do, Mexicans don't give a fuck about justice somewhere. Is a threat to justice everywhere. Nobody gives a damn about that but the fool. The Black American is the fool, and that same foolish mentality is how it's affected the Pan-African movement. We go to Africa with the same mentality, Oh, I'm in my motherland. Everybody love me and whatnot, That's the Black American, bless his heart, at heart is a fool. In spite of everything, we're fools. That's what it is. We've always been a foolish people. We were foolish to think that we were going to one day assimilate and have a colorblind society. We listen to people like Frederick Douglass and all these people say, when the white man Lincoln told him, look, you're never going to be happy here. We can give you a land. Lincoln wanted to give Black people a tract of land in the South, right? And he wanted the Black people of America to emigrate to Liberia, Haiti, and the Central South America, and populate Africa and get the hell out of America. That was his solution. He said, you're never gonna reach your full potential in a race of white people coming here in large numbers and everything. We're trying to build a white country. The Black people didn't want to hear that. Now, we had pockets of Black success and everything. And if you look at history, we were always successful when we had our own communities, because we spent our money with ourselves. And so it was easy for Black people to become millionaires and rich when we lived in segregated areas and everything. But that wasn't it. The people tell us, no, you're not going to be happy unless you go to that white school, unless you sit next to that white girl, that white boy, and everything like this. Right? I mean, you laugh, but we're a foolish people.
It's kind of crazy because now for me, I'm divided on this solution. I think we need a sizable Black Americans in America to maintain power, but also need Black Americans to reinvest in Africa to create Africa. So we got two fronts. We've got America.
I said like this. I'm like Thanos, right? 50-50. Right. Half of Black. If it was up to me, half of Black America would still exist. We could use the best and brightest on the continent to build and enclaves and everything. That would basically be the solution.
Right, right. 100%. So I mean, because I think the first female millionaire was a black woman, right?
The first female, Madam C.J. Walker, and there was
Yeah,
always
like
black
self-made,
millionaires in
right? No.
America.
Mhm. So she was the first female millionaire, right?
The
Overall,
first
who
female
made
millionaire.
her money.
Actually, there was a girl that came before her, a black girl that inherited land in Oklahoma, was a millionaire. Before Madam C.J. Walker, but not much is known about her. She was small. She was a dark skinned girl in Mississippi, a former
Okay.
ex-slave, whatever like that. She was left land, and the land had discovery on it. She became super rich. I think
Oh.
that was in the 19th century.
Ah, I see. Interesting, interesting. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting, right? I will say I did have some self-hate stuff going on when I was young. Not anymore, but let me explain what I mean. Because I used to think, like, I used to wonder to myself, can black people actually create their own communities and succeed? You start doing history, Black America, for example. You guys had it there. So what went wrong into the point whereby you integrated and then you lost that? Because okay, let me give you the context, right? Black people always talking about how they're not allowed into certain industries and key areas. But if Black America was still Black America right now, there would be those key industries in Black America.
Yeah.
Construction workers. I'm talking about people adding value to the economy in large numbers. So now, then, when trying to unify with Africa, this would have been a very easy thing. There'll be black banks that are supporting black businesses and integrating it with an African country that's willing. And here's the thing, right? Because I think in Pan Africanism, we run into this issue of autopism. I think the countries that are willing to work with us, let's work with those countries. The countries
Right.
which are being a little bit too dusty, we just have to call it out until they change their ways. But what do you think?
Okay, that's you brought up a good point. Here's the thing: Black America, right? When people look at Black America like an opaque situation, right? They Black America has to always sell itself to white America, right? White America is always on the scope of us, right? And they watch everything we say and do and everything. If anybody sounds too black or too pro-black or too black, they label you. The worst thing they can label you in America is a black extremist or a separatist. You know, even though
Right.
you're only doing what other groups of people do, we're not allowed to do that, right? We always have to basically talk about Martin Luther King. They use Martin Luther King. They weaponize him against us. We want to integrate it. And by the way, let me give you an example, right? Perfect example of what I'm talking about. I'm from New York, right? But I moved down here to Norfolk, Virginia, right? Years ago, right? And I live in Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, but it's all one area, Norfolk, Virginia, right? And Norfolk's a black town, so is Hampton and everything like that, right? But the thing is, though, here's the trade-off. You can see it right here in real time. I came down here in Norfolk, right? Unlike Virginia Beach, like 75% of black people in Norfolk rent apartments. 75% live in apartments, right? Whether it's just regular apartments, low income, whatever like that, just live in apartments. A small set of black people, they got black neighborhoods and everything, own their own house and everything. Now, the white people community here, right? There's a few bankers, lawyers, doctors, and white people that basically own everything. They own a whole city areas where everybody rents and everything like that. So what I'm saying is no parity. So in other words, and also the contractors that maintain these properties are white contractors that come from